And here comes our lady. All right, good morning, good Thursday morning. And the rain is beautiful. So I'm going to, or the drizzle or whatever it is, we'll take it. And I'd like to be the rain today. That'll be our theme. So we're gonna move. It'll be gentle, slow, and it's exactly what it's doing outside. So I love kind of connecting with nature on that level. So we're actually starting standing. And let's just take a moment in standing to center. So close your eyes and think of that gentle rainfall. Think of it from the crown of the head through the body, right out the bottoms of the feet, and then into Mother Earth. And then just continually, exhaling the rain down and gently washing away the body. A shower energetically cleanses the body also. So if you've ever noticed when you go into the shower and you might not be feeling 100%, and you come out and you feel better, and it's not just washing the skin, it's actually an energetic, healthy feeling. Another good tip is if you need a little bit more, you add an essential oil to it, like a lavender scent. You can even just put it on your hands and rub it in and feel that water coming down and sense that lavender. And if you don't have an essential oil, you can imagine the scent. And that has benefit also. So, all right, take a couple nice deep breaths, roll the shoulders back and down. Open your eyes if you have them closed, step wide, and we're just going to start tipping. Go to your comfortable point and then switch. And just keep floating back and forth, back and forth. You can imagine that gentle rainfall kind of going through the body, feeling that cleansing sensation, or maybe either a warming if you need it, or a cooling, whatever you need. And then from here, we're going to switch to spinning your right foot out and kind of coming into just a modified triangle, and then switch to the other side. So spin your left foot out and come into that. Just an easy triangle. Let's not force any of this. We're just going to move today. Move, move, move. You can bring your arm over, if that's, what you feel like you need. Or straight up. Kind of play with either version of that. And let's try one more on each side. All right, now come back to standing and balance yourself on one foot. You can use a chair, for balance, or the wall, whatever, and just start swinging your foot forward and back. So we're not going to work on balance, strength, flexibility. We're working on movement. Just move. You know, there's other classes that focus on different things, and that's fine. And that's what's so beautiful about all of this is that we can make it work for, the particular day. So that forward back movement, see what comes up. First thing I'm thinking of is I'm creating kind of a curve with my legs, so it feels like a bowl. And maybe the rain is filling the bowl slightly. So it's a nice little visual. And then pause and try the other side, same thing. Just a movement. And I'm just choosing to keep my foot flexed so it doesn't catch on the floor. All right. And then pause there, go back to the other leg, and same thing, just bringing it out to the side. And kind of see what comes up with that movement. What does that elicit? Does it remind you of something? Just easy, easy and gentle. Just think of the movement. Not that you're going to create any kind of a flexibility or a goal. It's all not goal related. Let's leave it at that. And then pause and try the other one. And balance too. We don't have to worry about balance. All right. Relax out of that and gently go into, that twist that we do where you bring your right hand on the left shoulder and your other hand wraps around. We're just going to go pull the left shoulder forward. We'll go in and out of that. And let's keep this in a gentle fashion too. So moving now the spine and switching sides. No need to go deep. Just see what comes up. Always see what these kinds of movements elicit. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's a reminder. Something that you need to do or should be doing. It could even be an emotion. When we work with the spine, that can bring up an emotional component. And that's okay too. So you just look at it and you don't get caught up into it. It's just like, oh, there's that again. And that's okay. And it could be, maybe some of the negative emotions as well, like fear or anger. And that's okay. So you just look at that, let it pass. Let the body move it out. Or, an anxiety or a sense of hurry or rushed, something like that. Let it come up and out. Relax into it. And sometimes when we go a little bit further into this, when we do these motions more, that's when some deeper things might come up. And that's okay too. Just as long as you don't attach your mind to it. All right, let's balance it out. So one more on each side or wherever you're at, and then just relax out of that just gently. And then come into an easy squat, just your hands on your knees. We're gonna do stomach lift. So it's the right at the navel center in and up under the ribs, and then relax out of it. So exhale in and up, inhale, relax the belly, keep going. You can round your back a little bit, that's fine. So this is massaging now those internal organs. So unbeknownst to us, because those organs are at our unconscious level, which can be conscious, at some point in our life, we can choose to work on that. But now when it's unconscious, we can move some of the muscles around them to massage and to relax and to put them in that state of wellness, that homeostasis. And then when we match it with our breath, all the more benefit. Of course, it's pretty difficult not to match it with breath on this one. But just keep this moving, keep it going. And it's gentle. Don't press too hard. And never pop the tummy out. It's just a gentle press back, easy release forward. Agnisara is a little bit more intense, so this is not it. This is just moving those lower abdominal muscles and massaging, the organs and the intestines, all that. So keep it gently going. Think of maybe, a puddle that the rain is creating, just kind of a gentle movement. The wind is breathing across it and it moves slightly, just like the body. All right, let's just do a couple more. And then come back to standing, and chair version or regular, just go into an easy tree pose. So, the gentle rain is nourishing trees. And just feel that. You just keep it simple. You don't need to work on anything. You're just here enjoying. Especially in a group, we can pick up the energy even through, these Zoom sessions. The energy is very palpable. I have learned that so quickly in these Zoom sessions. Switch to the other side, especially when I was taking the sessions. It was actually a teacher training program. It was based out of India, and it was meant for actually anybody. And it was 4 days a week for a month. And the energy that came out of those sessions was something that I'm so glad that I was a part of. So breathe in, breathe out. If you can look at a tree, all the better. Find the strength, find the courage, find the stability, find the rootedness. And then just release out of that, come into a nice easy back bend, like you're swaying in that gentle breeze. So then just come back up and just keep practicing back bending. And I'm finding that back bending prior to bed is beautiful. I do it in bed. I'll do Cobra in bed. If I feel a little bit of anxiousness or excitement, I do Cobra. several of these floating in and out, maybe feeling the gentle rain on your face. And then after this, when you come to standing, step wide again and both hands to the floor. Look forward first, and then start lowering the top of the head toward the floor. So let's turn that into a flow, looking forward, and then head to the floor. Or toward the floor. We won't go too deep. Now, if you have the urge to go a little bit deeper, you can spread the legs wider and drop the top of the head toward the floor. And then come up. And then when we come out of this, we'll go back into a back bend again, and then a forward fold. So step your feet together, go into a back bend, maybe a little bit deeper if you feel that urge. And then try a forward fold with your hands in front of your feet. And then back into that a little bit deeper back bend. It's up to you. Maybe your hands go down past the buttocks. So you just want to move that spine nice and gentle. Move all parts of it. Let's try one more of these, one more of each. And with your hands on the floor, your forward fold. And then drop down to your knees. So we're going to sit on the heels if that's comfortable. And work with a little bit of neck rolls. And if you're able, you can always spread your knees and your feet apart and just slip the hips in between and then continue your neck exercises. Or try easy pose. If this doesn't work for you, this is okay. As long as there's some movement in the body. Okay, pause, chin to chest. And then point your chin to an armpit. And then the other one. Now go back to the first side and try pointing nose to armpit. And then other side. All right, come to all fours. And begin cat stretching. We're going to try and stay in almost constant motion throughout the whole class. Some of it might be very minute. Some of it will be a little bit bigger. But think of that flow in the body, that natural rhythm of the earth and nature. So within your cat stretching, start extending the right arm and the left leg. And then to the other side. And again, it's just the movement that we're working with. And you can raise your head and your chest and really look forward. You get balanced. And then just center with one more cat stretch. Kind of balance out the hips and the shoulders. And then roll back to, cross your ankles and roll back to seated and come into butterfly. So the butterflies are showing up in the moths, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate the rain as well. So just a gentle flutter with the knees. So always in some slight movement. So we practice with focus and purpose, always. You know, and today is our gentleness of the rain. All right, from here, come to like what we call, we'll do tiptoe first. You just rest your hands on your knees. And for a little bit of movement, we can lift up and down. So stretching the toes. Maybe working with a little bit of keeping the back straighter, and chest open. And just noticing that connection to the floor. And pretend it's earth. Always nice to go out and walk in a gentle rain like this as well. All right, now go back onto your heels and just give your knees a hug. So it's just squat, so you know, adjust to whatever's comfortable. Let's hang on here for a moment. And then our movement would just be a gentle rock forward and back, kind of caressing ourselves. So it doesn't have to be a lot, you know, to make the body feel good. Sometimes you need it, definitely. when we come out of this, go onto your tummies and we'll come into cobra. So rock forward, come to cobra, and you can modify it if you wish. So your choice, either that full cobra with the fingertips lined up with the chest, or the ones with the hand forward, maybe it's more like Sphinx. But start with your forehead down and then just gently come up. See what the back needs. Either spread your legs or keep them together. Just inhale up, exhale down. Go to your level. Or try different varieties of it. Try spreading the legs or bringing the hands in more, or vice versa. Try all of those different variations. See what you can find. See what you notice. All right, do one or two more. And then come into child's pose. And our movement here in child's will be swaying the hips side to side. And spreading the shoulder blades open and moving the shoulders while you're in child's. Or just make something up. All right, stay on your knees. Let's bring the energy up. And bend back. So the movement will be just up and back. All right, next, back on your tummies and boat. So arms are forward and forehead to the floor, and then everything comes up. You can look forward and back down again. And just come in and out. All right, we're going to press back and go into an easy pigeon. So bring, a knee forward. And you can keep your hands right on that front knee. So the movement you can choose. The movement could be bending back or reaching forward, or both, I suppose. Back and forward. Now, you don't even have to worry about timing it with the breath. Just take it to the level that feels right. You might have to slow it way down, or you might have to speed it up to get rid of some of that energy. Either way. Let's try one more on this side and then switch. Right. Take care of that leg. Just an easy pigeon on the other side. And then just begin your swaying. And if if this makes you dizzy, just find another way just to move. And you might find after, so many years of practice that you match your breath with it anyway. It just happens. It's a really cool thing. I do one or two more. And then take care of that leg. And come back to kind of like child's pose, but this time we're going to bring forehead to the floor, interlace your hands behind the hips, and rotate them up and over. So let the movement be arms up, arms down. Let's try that. Right. Have enough. Relax out of that. Just come to seated and place your hands on your thighs. Just rest here if this is comfortable or easy pose. And what you can do is just press the thigh muscles away from the hips. So that will be our movement, is press and release. And you can do this in easy pose too, works just as well. So you want to release those larger muscles away from the hip flexors, just giving them a little bit of a relax, a little bit of space, a little bit of an opening there. And maybe there's some tension being held there too. We could kind of work that out if that's kind of how you're thinking of this. That works well. And then come into seated and choose a spinal twist that you want to work with, but try not to go too deep into it. So I'll just do a straight leg one with my right leg crossed over, left hand on the knee, and then just twist. And let's try going from side to side. It's a nice gentle rhythm. And this one you probably want to match the breath. So it's exhale when you twist. Comes very naturally. And see what part of the spine needs the most work. It could be that space just below, like that C7, the little knobby vertebrae. Maybe just below that needs some work. Okay, we're going to end with the leg that was crossed over second. So the first one would be just end with the opposite one. And then come out of your spinal twist and just take a staff pose and rest out of that just for a moment. And then we're going to keep that left leg pointed forward and bring the right one into the inner thigh and walk down toward your left foot. And now we'll work with coming in and out of lowering the chest. Just bend the elbows gently. And if you don't feel like touching the forehead toward the knee, just don't. Let's work with just again, that movement of coming in and out. Just that fluid, wave-like movement. One or two more. Go to the other side. So keep the one leg straight and tuck that other one in. It doesn't matter if it's not all the way up. And then just start the movement. I always find it so interesting how something as simple as this, I can find the differences from side to side. This one feels like it's a little bit more of a struggle to lower. But that's another thing too, the word struggle. Keep that out of your vocabulary. Never make anything a struggle. It's always a noticing, or put it into a sense of wonder. What can you do about that? How can you encourage yourself through it or learn about it? You never struggle. And that goes for, you know, all of our other practices, you know, pranayama, the meditation, everything. All right, one or two more. And then when we come up, try that reverse plank pose. So hands behind the hips, your fingertips point towards you. You're going to kind of ground your heels. And when you lift up, try to get the feet flat. So we'll just come in and out of that. Doesn't matter which way your hands are, either if they need to go this way or this way. Mine go easily this way. Just choose what works. Let's do a couple more. All right. Come to seated and start curling your toes under. Curl and release. And now start reaching towards a simple forward fold and then come out again. So in and out of fold. More. And then find yourself on your backs. And you can begin by just hugging knees to chest. We'll start that way. Hug and release. We're going to take this a little bit deeper by going into inverted action, or that quarter of a plow pose. So we're in the position for it, but just bring your hands on your hips and lift the hips up, and just bring your legs at a 45. That's as far as you go, and put the weight of your legs into your upper arms. So what you can do for movement is relax the hips and then come back up into a little bit higher. So you just kind of relax. Or lower the legs, however, you know, that verbiage works for you. Just kind of lower and then come back up. Start to just slowly roll out of that. keep your knees bent and bring your arms at a T. And now stack both feet and turn the legs to the right and to the left. And then your head opposite your knees. So a little bit of moving yoga. And this is always best if you're exhaling with the knees down. Okay, after we're done with this, go back into that quarter plow pose. And we're going to drop the legs into a half plow so that they're over our head but parallel to the floor. We're not going to touch the toes to the floor. All right, so give that a try. Go back to that quarter plow. And then now start lowering the legs closer to your chest and then come back up. So again, no strain, just give it a try. Gently, gently, slowly roll up. Take your time. Massage the spine. Keep your legs straight. Let them float to the floor, straight legs. We're going to just go into Shavasana. Take a very brief rest, maybe 2 breaths. Now cross your legs and come back to seated. And we'll just do a little bit of rocking chair. We're not quite finished yet. So forehead to the floor, hang on to your toes, and roll up and over. All right, when you're on your back, come right into arch pose. So release the rocking chair, feet to the floor, knees bent, come to bridge or arch. We won't go into bridge. And we'll stop the movement, but bring your heels closer to your hands and see if the fingers can touch the ankles, or you can hang onto your ankles. And we'll pause here for a rest. Keep your hips up. Keep the torso strong. Now begin to slowly relax hips to floor. Straighten out your left leg and bring your right leg into half happy baby. Now straighten that right leg up, draw it to your chest. And we'll lower that leg. And go to the other side, half happy baby. Keep the right leg straight. All right, let's straighten that left leg, draw it in, lower it to the floor. And we're going to do one more. So bring your knees into your chest and we're going to hang it, do the big toe hold. Now your feet are together in this one and the knees are splayed apart. So think of a butterfly, but on your back. All right, now relax the legs, come into full Shavasana. And begin your sweeping breath. Exhaling from the crown down to out to the bottoms of the feet. Inhale up, exit the crown, and continue. Remember, with every exhale, think of whatever is on the mind, let that exit. Stay in this moment. Stay in your body with the feeling of being relaxed, yet rejuvenated. And now change your breath so that the exhale is twice as long as the inhale. So when you exhale, bring those thoughts out as far as your exhale can take you. Think of it going out a window or going out a door or going through the walls and out into the yard. And then bring it back up to the crown and do it again. Maybe you can let your breath meet that favorite tree you have outside, or the plant or bush or flower. Meet some part of nature. And bring the energy of that nature back up to the crown. All right, return to natural breath. Wiggle fingers and toes, arms and legs. Roll to your left, come to seated. Om Shanti, 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 peace, 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 deep peace. Namaste.
That was perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah.